Hello, everyone. This is The This by Adam Roberts. And I think there are people who would read through this and stop and go, what in the hell did I just read? This does have, however, some very straightforward storytelling in it, but then there's some large, almost existential exposition sitting behind it. And I was of the opinion it didn't quite need the whole hyper philosophical piece behind it in order to do what it does. But I did find the whole book actually pretty fun to read. I actually enjoyed it. But yeah, there's parts of this that are not casual reading, and but I'd say the most of it is. I thought maybe it was going to just be a splatter of difficulty because, for example, you have this, pieces of regular novel down here, and then down here there's supposed to be this constant media feed, like someone's sitting at their computer scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So this does indeed do with an implant into people's minds, and they join up with the internet that way. This produces a hive mind, and the people in charge of the rest of the world are getting a little bit scared of this hive mind. This hive mind is trying to take over the planet Venus and go there and say, this belongs to us now. People do maintain their individuality, but you're still part of a linked system, and there's this whole other mind congregated from all those people. And so the way I thought of that I can actually explain the book in a way without giving much of it away was using a couple other movie examples, one of them being The Matrix. So in The Matrix, Neo, at the time that he talks to the Oracle and about being the one, I'm the chosen one. And she looks at him and goes, what are you? And he goes, I'm not the one. She goes, no, you're not. Well, at that time, he really wasn't, and he didn't need to be. Even her assistant says there's a room full of other potentials. And so the Oracle didn't have to choose Neo. She could have chose anyone in that room, but she decided, I'm going to run with Neo, and gives him the cookie, and later on when he's killed, he becomes the one. And you get that here with this particular character, Rich, that we start off with, and he's he's a writer, but otherwise there's two characters that they're kind of similar in a way, and one of them's a full-on loser, if you want to call him that. The other guy, Aiden, he's supported by his mother, though he does live by himself, except for the fact that he has a sex bot, which is the apparently next evolution of the phone, because he can use this sex bot as his phone and his computer if he chooses to do so, and she's his constant companion. It never does say, though, if these beings are truly, these companions are actually sentient and conscious, just that they're artificial intelligence. They're very supportive and loving, though. And so in here, they want to do away with this hive mind, and they in the first part of it, they use Rich. And they're after Rich because for some reason the hive mind is specifically after Rich. And at the time that they are trying to recruit him, he's nothing. And this is where it's almost temporal. And there's a practical application, though, of you're nothing now, but you're gonna be. Because they're going to use him as a Trojan horse to try to kill this hive mind. And the hive mind wants this uploaded weapon that they know is going to be in his mind. And once he's very resistant, he doesn't want to become part of the hive mind. He wants to be himself. But once he does it, it takes him away. And it's this constant battle between this thing that's supposed to destroy the hive mind and the hive mind fighting this thing in his mind. And it's actually just an incredible special effect that this goes on for quite some time as he is assimilated. It's Borg, but you don't get like the horrible implants, or like in the Matrix, you get all these horrible implants to make you part of the hive mind. Now, Anon, again, it's the same thing, just later on in the future, whereas the he's such a so he was being supported by his mother, and she decided she wanted to upload and become part of the hive mind, and so that left him without everything, and he has to hide away his companion, and he winds up joining the army because that's the only thing he can think of doing. It was very little Starship Trooper like, because he really shouldn't be in the army. But again, he is given an upload, a piece of information. He becomes a chosen one. And as a result, he is able to fight back against the machinations of the hive mind. Themes of evolution are throughout this, primarily concerning consciousness rather than maybe the human body, as that's kind of discarded eventually. And eventually the hive minds themselves become referred to as a single entity. There is, however, and I this is where I will hesitate to give too much of it away, all of these things are being manipulated. And it's a nice big fat reveal with a huge exposition, like I said, at the end. And if you... It's sometimes you wish an author would you please just kind of get to it through your character? I don't need all this, because it sounds almost way too philosophical for the practical matters that are going on. And you can tell when somebody's read Kent and decided, I'm going to write this philosophy book, which is what's basically going on in here. So I actually did really enjoy it, though. So this is a pretty high-minded science fiction, dystopia-like, cyberpunkish sorta, all about social media too, with our attachment to it and what it does for us as people and individuals. And actually really enjoyed it, and I really like that cover too, right there. So that is it for that one. I hesitated after reading that, really, going to this one, because this one is not going to be as philosophically enriched, I thought, and I was going to be disappointed. But the reviews for this online across the board are actually really good. And this is going to be D.L. Young, Cyberpunk City, The Machine Killer. This is first in a series. I don't know that I'll continue it. I have plans to go on and get through my TBR, which I'm getting close to ending. Let's see here. Once a data thief, always a data thief. Former cyber criminal Blackburn Maddox is living the well-paid, comfortable life of a corporate salaryman. He thinks his lawless past is behind him. He couldn't be more wrong. The Machine Killer, the first thrilling installment of the Cyberpunk City saga. But some of the reviews are like a little deeper than they thought, without getting too deep, and just lots of fun. If there's one thing I want in my Cyberpunk, it's the hacking portion. I want to see someone plug in and try to break into things. And this appears to be the usual corporations running the world, and the criminal's going to try to break in. And that's kind of a cliche thing in Cyberpunk, but it can be a lot of fun. So we shall see. That is next week. That's all. Quick one. Thank you very much. Almost there with my TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Now I say 10, but there's 3 kind of sitting on the side there. I don't know if I get to those, but technically really 10. And that'll be about 10 weeks. And yours truly will be basically through his TBR. Oh, all right. So thank you. Bye-bye. Next week. See ya.